All right, so we are here with the very first episode of the Flip the Script podcast. Today we got a little bit here on the plate. We're going to talk about, kind of the current state of WWE, how everything with that's going. We're going to talk about these Doomsday teaser trailers that's been coming out. We got about, I think, two have been officially released as of the time of
Yep.
recording.
Third gonna
Third
be
one,
out
yeah,
next
third
week.
next week. Yeah, they're gonna be
Yeah,
out next week. It has leaked online as everyone's already. If you own any kind of Twitter, social media space, you've probably already
yeah,
seen it. But
yeah. Marvel gotta fix that security.
yeah, I heard they're
They're
locking down.
probably leaking it themselves. As far as
Pro-
we know.
Probably. I heard they're locking down. We're gonna get to that, and then last of it, we're gonna talk kind of about the Hollywood box office and kind of how they should maybe change the Hollywood box office, maybe even do away with it in a way. And let's see what we got. So first up, we got WWE. Um, the last news that I've heard of, since I'm not, we're not everyday watchers anymore like we used to be. We used to be everyday watchers. That's no longer a thing. I mean, we had know that John Cena had his retirement match. It ended in probably the worst possible way for someone of John Cena's caliber to end
Hmm.
their career. And then, I saw like Austin Theory came back, no pop. Um,
Gunther
Gunter,
getting no pops.
yeah, Gunter comes out, just defeated John Cena, no pop, not really a good heel. I don't, I don't really know what even to do with WWE at this point. I mean, it feels like WWE as a whole is kind of just digging itself deeper into the dirt. I mean, you got Big Nose Triple H booking it to all hell. The viewership is hitting an all time low.
Yep, less than a
Um,
million.
I mean, when Triple H first took over, I mean, I know he had this whole thing with thinking that somehow making the most amount of money for WWE was going to be better than creating a good product. That just doesn't work. I mean, you can continue to have two, three, four, 5 night pay per views. You can continue to put yourself on ESPN and have people have to pay all this extra money to watch shows. You can go to
Gonna put you on sledgehammer in the glass case.
yeah, you can go to Saudi Arabia and have them pay you a ton of money to have old people come back or to put on terrible matches. I mean, that's not what the WWE we grew up with was supposed to be. I mean,
Yeah,
WWE as a whole is supposed to be this like, it was always about the entertainment. It was always about the fans. Even though when people like to say it wasn't about the fans, it really was because it was entertaining. They gave us the most entertaining product that they could
yeah.
with what they had. I feel like now they're not really trying to give us the most entertaining product. I mean, how many new stars have we really seen grow in this Triple H era? I mean, it's always just been stars he either had with NXT or it's the same stars that are just being recycled. I mean, I don't know how many times we got to see like main event Jey Uso, going for a world title, losing, coming back, doing it again, or having to see Gunter win world title after world title. He gets it.
But
It
not
gets no
and also
ratings.
not pushing the right people, like like Randy, who could still go, still great, still could be a big attraction, not push like a LA Knight or like a Drew McIntyre, like guys that really should, or like a Braun Breaker, make him like one of your top stars, someone who could really like carry the company forward, could really like carry it.
That's how I feel. Because I mean, even like now, the way that like I'm looking at it, I mean, you got like, of course, you got CM Punk, holding a world title. Which CM Punk was always my guy, but you got what was it? I think
To
Cody held it for a long time, and
just say something about CM Punk right quick. Like I've told you before, CM Punk is one of the wrestlers like I've always liked ever since his ECW days. I've just always liked his style, like and but he's not the same. Like even if you look at like 2011 Summer Punk, like that was really fresh and interesting at the time. Like I may not agree with everything he said, like in hindsight, but when he spoke, like you got the feeling like he meant what he was saying. But now he's just so watered down. Not he doesn't feel like himself.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that. I mean, when he first came back, I mean, I've been wanting CM Punk to come back pretty much since he left, and this it doesn't really hit the same because I feel like the dis it was his disdain for the company and his views aligning with how the fans felt that
Yeah,
made it so impactful. And now I don't know if it's, he's just more company. I don't know if he's no longer allowed to say things that he wants to say. I don't really know, but it just seems like that line between what's real and what's fake is no longer being crossed. It's almost
yeah,
like every promo he cuts, I mean, you can tell it's a promo. It doesn't feel like there's anything
real.
real behind it. I mean, when they had the whole thing with, him not main eventing WrestleMania over at The Rock and John, that felt real. I felt like real resentment for not main eventing after all these years of
Yeah,
holding the company afloat. When he was, going in to be the world champion or going into that Summer of Punk, that feud with John Cena, when he was talking about how the company wasn't putting him on marketing material, how he felt like, no matter how big he got over with the fans, that they were trying to throw him under the bus, that felt real because the fans could see it and the fans felt it.
yeah,
But now it seems like everything just feels a little too scripted. Like it feels like everything feels like it's a promo. They kind of got away with stuff feeling real. And I think with how these wrestlers and I think people on the board like Triple H, how they let these wrestlers handle themselves on social media is definitely a detriment because I can't I can't accept it when, you know, I'm watching this product and you got two guys that go on the product talking about how much they hate each other, they're going back and forth, and then the next day you go on their Twitter or something and they hanging out playing 2K or something. Like it kind of it takes away from it. And I know kayfabe's been gone for a long time, but it's the illusion that you're supposed to get. And it's the same thing with like movies, when you watch a good film, the film's good because you you break past that illusion that it's real. You start to get into that threshold to where you're invested into these characters because
yeah,
you can feel like it's a character and not the actor that's playing the character.
yeah.
Like so like that'd be the difference between seeing like a movie where you have like I've seen clips of that new Madden movie that's coming out with
Mhm.
Nicolas Cage. When I
Yeah,
see that, I see Nicolas Cage playing a character.
yeah.
I don't see John Madden. I see Nicolas Cage playing John Madden.
Right. And
Versus like you see like when you watch Ray or something and you see Jamie Foxx, you don't see Jamie Foxx playing Ray. You just see
yeah,
Ray.
yeah, like kayfabe is, kayfabe being gone, that's been a problem to me because like you said, you gotta invest in the characters, make it feel real. Like when CM Punk dropped that pipe bomb in 2011, like we didn't see anything like that up until that point. Because kayfabe wasn't broken. Like you still had the illusion of like, okay, this is a wrestling show. These wrestlers hate each other, and even for years, I thought the kayfabe was like he was really like going against the company. I mean, he really did. Like he meant it, but I didn't know Vince was like, okay, I want you to say how you feel. I didn't know that until years later. Like that's how real it felt and genuine.
Yeah.
And like you said about movies, like have you seen this movie called Above the Rim? It came
Mhm.
out with Tupac and Marlon Wayans,
Yeah.
and like Tupac would bully Marlon Wayans' character in that movie, and it felt so real. But you wouldn't know Marlon and Tupac were friends because the acting was so good and so believable. Like you wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. Like I'm not gonna, put myself in a world of illusion and act like, oh, I thought wrestling was real, and all
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
Like obviously, I know it's not, but like I say, it's like theater.
yeah,
It's like a TV show that you're watching every week.
yeah,
But it's what's in the TV show needs to be believable for it to work.
Yeah,
It's
believable.
like a bunch of these like reality TV shows. A lot of them are scripted. A lot of these reality TV shows are not real. They're scripted. But when they are able to make it feel real, it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
It's only not enjoyable when it's so bad and so unrealistic. You're just like,
yeah,
why?
yeah. I think of like Edge, because I told you before that when Edge, like when he came back at the Royal Rumble in what was that 2020, 2021?
Yeah, I think it was 21. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of those Rumbles where he came back, and it was like a big moment. Like a huge big thing, kind of like when CM Punk came back at Survivor Series in 2023. But Edge didn't really feel like his old self.
I don't know what the change with Edge was really, because even like when I see clips of him now, this whole Adam Copeland and he's on AEW, that's
Yeah,
not Edge, and especially when he cut the hair. I mean, I know it was already kind of going, but
yeah,
when he cut the hair, it's like this ain't the rated R superstar, man. And it's
yeah.
like I get it, you're finally clear, oh, I want to end my career on my terms, but man,
But that's
when you
too.
over the hill like that, bro.
But that's too believability because when every time we got to see who more of who he really was in real life. Like imagine back then if we seen Edge like in social media and he was like, kind of like the nice the kind of like the nice guy he kind of is real life. Like he wasn't like the big radar superstar heel. Like it wouldn't have been as believable back in the day. Like you would have never thought Edge was that way in real life back then.
I don't know. And honestly, I just think that in the modern era, there's no room for wrestling or sports entertainment, because social media has just done such irreparable damage to the product. Because it's hard for you to watch something that's basically like a TV show that's filmed live 2 to 3 times a week for an entire calendar year, every single year. And
Hmm.
these people basically have to be in character forever until they retire. And it's
Yeah,
like, that's almost impossible nowadays. I mean, before, when the camera cut off, you could just be yourself. But now, when the camera cuts off, you got social media, you got interviews, you got, most of them got YouTube channels, podcasts. Everyone has their camera out now, so they go out in public, they eat, they go do something. There's cameras. If you're in a rivalry with your best friend, you guys can't even hang out in public because it's gonna ruin the illusion. But it's like
yeah.
in today's modern era, it's almost impossible for that illusion to not be ruined. I mean, it would be different if wrestling was marketed towards kids who kind of didn't know no better and didn't really care. But you know, it's just, I feel like in this generation, there's almost no room for it. Like I feel like wrestling was at its greatest prior to the huge boom of social media.
Yeah, like I always say, like before 2014, from like 99 to like 2014, like that's like my favorite era of wrestling, like all those years, because you had everything. I mean, you still had entertainment and the good wrestling with, kayfabe still intact, and you just had all of it.
Yeah, and like I
It's,
just think that
2014 is where I really first started noticing like they got away from like the entertainment and it was just more focused on the wrestling and like it felt different,
yeah,
and I didn't like that.
yeah, like it just, I think it's just hard to watch. And I think that even though you got people like Logan Paul or I Show Speed, KSI, trying to bring some more fans, more viewership to the product. I just don't think there's a big enough demand for people to want to be wrestlers. I mean, it was so much easier to have such this great crop of really great superstars when there was
Yeah,
people who wanted to do it.
yeah,
Now you're having to select the best out of a small pot, which is
yeah,
making it to where maybe every 5 years you might get one star who seems like they have the ability to really break out and be something versus back then, if you had 10 people come to you, chances are at least five of them could easily be a star. But now
Yeah,
it's so hard because, and that's another thing with social media now. It's like people who wanted to be wrestlers back in the day, if they was born in today's era, it's so much easier to blow up and be a star with social media doing anything else. A lot of these people, their first choice wasn't even wrestling. They might have been bodybuilders, they might have been football
yeah,
players, basketball players, track runners. They were just athletes who couldn't make it to the top of
yeah,
their field, who watched wrestling and was like, oh, I can try this. And it was a lot easier to try because, I mean, every town, it seems like back then, had wrestling schools or indie wrestling
yeah,
somewhere. And then, or you knew someone who did indie wrestling or something of that nature that could, say, hey, man, give this a try.
yeah.
The chances of you now finding an indie wrestling spot anywhere near you, the chances of you finding a wrestling school anywhere near you, the chances of you even running into anyone who even does wrestling, indie wrestling of any kind, are almost slim to none nowadays.
Well, well,
So it's not a big thing for people to want to do.
yeah, yeah, you're right. And I saw, I was looking at Vince Russo's podcast, and he said like back then you had to be a special breed, a person to be a wrestler. Like think of the OVW four, like Batista, John Cena, Randy, Shelton, Brock. Well, that's technically five, but that class of
Yeah,
OVW wrestlers, like those were a special breed of people right there. And
very.
um, and like the indie scene is basically kind of gone at this point.
It's dead because, I mean, think back then. I mean, you had TNA, you had Ring of Honor, you had a lot of people, like New Japan
New
more back
Japan,
then.
yeah.
People, you had Lucha Underground.
PWG.
Yeah, like you had, you know, so many other ventures. And nowadays, like look at things like TNA. TNA is just people who fight in
Teaming up with
AEW.
WWE. Yeah.
Yeah, like you got, if you wrestle for AEW, you're most likely always on the TNA roster, and then if you're on the
Or Ring of
TNA
Honor, because
roster,
AEW got Ring of Honor.
yeah, and then you're on TNA roster. Sometimes you're showing up on WWE events, and you're basically becoming a member of the WWE or NXT, and then you're just flipping back and forth. So it's like there's no indie scene. They're all kind of connected into one big web, and
Yeah.
the only way for you to like, if you want to be in TNA, you also have to be good enough to be in NXT or be in AEW. If you want to be in Ring of Honor, you also kind of have to be good enough to make it to AEW. But the whole point was that you're not there yet, but you can get there. But now it's like you need to already be there for you to even be on the lower level, which
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of negates the purpose. It would literally be like the NBA G League if there was like, well, first you need to be good enough to get drafted to the NBA before you can make the G League. What's the
Yeah.
point of the G League if I have to be good enough to be drafted?
Yeah.
Like it's just ass backwards. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's ass backwards, and the company as a whole is basically just garbage. It's just in the trash, and I don't foresee any comeback. I think it's just going to keep going down until eventually they sell it to somebody, or the rights get sold, or they're going to do something along that lines. But I don't see any further growth.
And the thing with Triple H, like Triple H is such, I mean, he just seemed like such a smart wrestler. Like he knew the business. So, just based off his wrestling. So I don't know why he would book stuff the way he's booking it. It's confusing. Like I figured he would know like storytelling, entertainment. Like I figured he would know stuff like that.
Yeah, because as much as he gets credit from all these wrestlers about, his in ring IQ was so high, his work ethic, his ability to make people better in the ring, and his
Yeah.
ability to tell stories, and his ability to have that in ring ability to maybe sell a body part, or to kind of tell the story with his actions.
Yeah.
You would think that he would be so much better at not only recognizing talent but building talent, and he's just
Yeah.
not. And he's definitely no good when it comes to storytelling, which is crazy because he was part of some of the better stories during the kind of that attitude era, leading the Ruthless Aggression. I mean, he feuded
Yeah,
with every major star. He had great stories. I mean, that whole like 4 year story with Shawn Taker, Triple H Taker is one of
yeah,
the best like WrestleMania 4 year long stretches of story
yeah.
ever done by WWE.
That's
And
yeah, just one of the best stories. Period. By
yeah,
the WWE.
and to think that he would be able to help manufacture that
But think of like
right
Batista, how
this
he
bad.
helped put over Batista. Like in 2005, like he made Batista. He helped Batista reach that next level. Put him over 3 pay-per-views in a row, like strongly.
And it was him that wanted Batista and Randy specifically. He wanted Batista and Randy specifically. He wanted Batista and Randy. And
Hmm.
then he also wanted Rick to be there. Like he knew how to make Evolution work.
Yeah,
And nowadays it seems like he can't even make a two-man tag team work.
yeah,
And
that's so weird.
I think it might have something to do because he surrounds himself by a bunch of people that either Vince really liked or that he was really cool with, and no one really pushes back on anything. And I think he's kind of afraid to push back because oh, it's my friends, and
But
but in the position that you're at, man, I mean that's your
I was
job, you
about to
know.
say, like he makes it obviously clear it's his company. Like he makes it very obviously clear it's his. So
Yeah, and
why not just do what you want to do?
he surrounds himself with all his friends. I mean, he has Sean running NXT. He got Road Dogg and them, managing matches, and he got people like Bruce Pritchard and stuff in the writing room. And as we saw from that WWE Unreal documentary, I mean, when it came to like that one piece when they was talking about who's going to win the Royal Rumble, and you had a whole table of people saying
Saying CM
it
Punk.
needs to be CM Punk. He just came back.
Yeah,
Give me Punk. Triple H was like, yeah. And then what was it? Bruce Pritchard that said something, or it was God, who was it that said something? I can't remember, but they said, I don't know, man. I kind of like that main event Jey Uso guy. And then Triple H was like, yeah, main event Jey Uso. And then
said he's
because it's
gonna
Triple H, everyone else in the room was like, yeah, Jey Uso, Jey
say
Uso.
he's gonna strap
Y'all
the
was,
rocket to him.
that's what I'm saying. Y'all was just all over making CM Punk the guy for that one, which made the most sense. He just came back. The whole reason he came back, every promo, I want a main event WrestleMania. I want to go back to WrestleMania. And then you let one person say it should be Jey Uso, and you scrap what he's been setting up for you. And
Then Triple H saying, "Oh, I'm gonna strap the rocket to Jey Uso," like, and then it doesn't happen.
yeah, and it's pointless. And then it's the same with, I think that's another reason why The Rock has refused to come back for like some of these WrestleManias and some of these pay-per-views. I mean, I know Rock says his schedule because I know the type of person The Rock seems to be. I don't think he's the type of person to kind of go out and be like, "Oh, I just don't want to come back because I don't like what they're doing." But when The Rock, they talked about, I mean, he's been throwing kind of shade at it that, he had these big plans that he wanted to do and everyone was on board. And all of a sudden, Triple H and them come through and they're like, well, I don't think that's going to sell as much as this would. And then The Rock is kind of forced to change what he thought was going to be better. And then it kind of becomes a mess. And The Rock don't really want to be associated with the mess that you made, because like you can't make the mess because I wanted something good. You make a mess out of it and you want me to come back and fix it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to come back and fix every
Yeah,
mess that you make off of my name.
definitely some 30-year animosity there still.
I think so, because as much as you always hear Triple H say, "Oh, I always love The Rock, I always respected The Rock," and everyone that was around you always says you did not like The Rock. You never liked him because you thought that you was better than The Rock and that you should have got more
Yeah,
Rock.
yeah,
You
they
always felt that way.
yeah, because they kind of at the same time in like '98 they was both ascending at the same time, and
Yep.
The Rock kind of became the bigger star just because he's The Rock, he's charismatic and stuff like that. And Triple H was big too, but obviously The Rock was just like the big face of
And
next to
sometimes,
Austin.
yeah, sometimes you just can't help it, man. I mean, The Rock's The Rock. I mean,
Exactly. Like,
he
yeah,
just he just had all the materials at the perfect time to make himself that big of a star.
yeah,
Sometimes you can't help that. And
exactly.
I know Triple H was there longer. Triple H probably had way more friends higher up, but there's some things you just is inevitable. I mean, he
Yeah,
came in, he was athletic, he had the charisma, he could talk on the mic very well,
yeah,
he could sell to the crowd perfectly. I
yeah,
mean, you can't, you can't write it better than that. You can't build someone to be that great. They just have to have it. And he just
yeah,
did. And The Rock had his time. The Rock left. Triple H, took that time to step back in with some other guys, and they kind of took over, because you had kind of like the people that were left, because you had kind of the Triple H's, the Shawns, the Takers, the Johns, Tistas, Randys. I mean, you kind of had them all coming in and ushering kind of like a new era. You had like
yeah,
just come in and stuff like that. The Rays, everyone was kind of finding their spot. Triple H always found a way to stay on top. Triple H was never going to go down to no mid card spot or
yeah,
nothing. Triple H was going to keep himself on top no matter what. I mean, that's who he is. But to have the animosity against The Rock just because for that time, which was a very short time The Rock was there, he just had all of the ingredients.
yeah,
And Triple H, he can't act like, when he came in, he was just this larger than life character. I mean, he went through like really like four evolutions of his character. Because I mean, he
yeah,
came in as a Hunter Hearns Helmsley that wasn't really going to do anything for him. I
yeah,
mean, he wasn't a good enough character. And then he kind of switches to this DX Triple H, but he really wasn't the leader. It was still just Shawn's DX, and Triple H still had the long tights, and he really wasn't fitting in too well. Then he finally finds his niche, his mold with the game. He drops that I'm the game promo, I'm the damn game promo, and then
yeah,
he kind of fleshes himself into this character. And then he comes and he finds like this cerebral assassin, this real main event caliber character that he made out.
yeah.
But The Rock, when The Rock first came in, we had Rocky Maivia, which was very rocky start. Get it, Rocky? Huh? And then he kind of comes with the Nation of Domination, where he starts to really shine when they let him,
Yep,
grab the mic.
that one promo he cut. Yep,
They
and
let
then
they let they let him touch the mic. He asked for it. They let him do it, and he proved that he can speak on the mic. And then it just quickly evolved from Nation of Domination, The Rock, and then
yeah,
he just took
yeah,
off. And
yeah,
you had all
yeah,
the versions of The Rock. You had Face Rock, Heel Rock, Hollywood Rock. It didn't matter. Rock was Rock. No matter what,
yeah,
no matter what, he was heel. If he was face,
yeah.
The Rock was The Rock, and it was undeniable.
Yeah, that's
So,
the thing. It's undeniable. Kind of like Austin. It's just undeniable
yeah,
sometimes.
it's undeniable. Austin, he came in stunning Steve. That wasn't really going to work.
Then that King of the Ring promo.
Yeah, I say he kind of was stone cold, but he kind of didn't have no character really. And then Triple H messes up with the whole breaking kayfabe with the hugging of the best friends and all
The
this
click.
stuff. Yeah, the whole click thing, and then Steve goes on to win King of the Ring. He drops that promo that he came up with, and then from there it just blew up. But it just happened to work because you had Stone Cold, who was like this Texas badass kind of character, and it just worked. People just
And
liked it.
he goes against his boss. I mean,
Yeah,
how relatable is that?
I was saying, and what really blew him up was when they decided it would be best to have him feud with Vince himself,
Yeah,
not another top level heel or face, but
yeah,
Vince McMahon. It just made the most sense. And I think Triple H gets a little jealous because I don't think anywhere in his career he really had that. He's
yeah,
always been a top star, but I don't think he's ever had a moment in his career where you can look at Triple H and be like, "Oh, this stretch of time was Triple H's."
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's never been like the guy. I'd
Never,
say.
never. And he's done good, but there was never ever been a stretch of time where you can look at it and go, "Yeah, this was Triple H's span of time."
But,
You can say the Reign of Terror, but they only say that because it really wasn't that good. You didn't have a lot of stars to
Yeah,
beat. And then it was really just him beating everybody, and it wasn't making any difference. There was really no big storylines for real. And then it was just like, eh. But when you see The Rock's time, that was The Rock's time. When you had Stone
yeah.
Cold, that was Stone Cold.
Stone
When
Cold.
you had
Yeah,
Shawn, that was Shawn.
yeah.
You had Hogan, that was Hogan. You had John, that was John.
Hmm.
And then Triple H, he was a big star, but there's always been a star that was just so much bigger than him that
Yeah.
overshadowed that whole era. And I think that's another problem he has with John Cena, and why the booking of his retirement went so terrible, because
Yep.
when Triple H finally got out the shadow of The Rock, finally gets out the shadow of Austin, doesn't have to worry about being in Shawn's shadow. It's really his time to kind of grow and shine. You got John Cena, who he said out his mouth he didn't think John was ever going to be a star. Didn't think John
Yep.
was nobody. And John
Even
ends up
in those
blowing.
promos, in their promos for the matches, like how many times Triple H always says, "Oh, well, you're not a very good wrestler" and stuff like that.
And I think that's the thing. He ends up blowing up, massive, massive blowing up. And then John is just larger than life. And Triple H has to be looking at that like this was my time. And John
Yeah,
took it.
because
And
if you
now
look
that
back,
he has control over how John's career ends, I don't want it to end that way. Because Triple H also didn't get to choose how his career ended. His career just ended. I know he says, "Oh well, I wouldn't want to go anyway. I want to ride it till the wheels go off." You know damn well Triple H wanted to have some kind of storybook ending to his career,
oh
and
yeah,
he didn't
definitely,
get it. He
yeah,
wasn't medically. It was unable to do so.
yeah.
So I know he has to look at that with some resentment.
But think about it. I mean, you've had a great career. I mean, you're. I imagine you're respected by a lot of your peers. I mean, I know not everyone likes you, but a lot of people probably respect you. You've had a great career. You made millions of dollars. I mean,
Million.
so what's there to be mad at? I mean, you should be satisfied.
You should, but like J. Cole said on Port Antonio, I know the thirst of being first that made them both swing. I think it's Triple H, his hunger to be better than everyone. And even when he was wrestling, this was definitely a thing because everyone said it. Triple H always wanted to be the best. He wanted to be the best person in the ring. He wanted to be the
Yeah,
best in the company. His thirst to be first, and it never happening really in his career, is why he is the way he is. Even now that he's a booker, he's thirsty to be the guy.
yeah.
Every time he makes it about him, every pay-per-view, Triple H comes out
Front and
first
center.
as the big thing on the
Yeah.
on the posters. Triple H is in the posters. You're not wrestling
On
a
the
match.
show, the show ending, it says executive produced by Paul Levesque and another person.
Yeah, and it's like Triple H, he does the every time you see WWE post clips of like them little press conferences, which is one, why are we doing press conferences in the WWE? This is not the NBA. This is not
Yeah.
the NFL.
It's not a sport.
It's scripted television, man. We really
Yeah.
don't host press conferences. And then Triple H sits down with his big ass nose and always like, I'm gonna go over the numbers, and it's like, why are you posting clips of Triple H going over numbers as like the big thing? And when new wrestlers signed to WWE, did you ever see Vince taking photos in front of WWE logos to put on social media?
Never.
Triple H wants so much spotlight. Every time someone shows up, he has to be in the photo with them,
Well,
showing them off. So it'd be like, look what I brought in.
that's like Gunther. I mean, Gunther in the top hill, Triple H the top hill.
Yeah,
And
Triple H is
actor,
the biggest heel
Triple
in
H
the
is an actor
company.
wrestler, he the top hill.
He the biggest heel in the company because that's why he get booed so damn much. And I really wish he would have never came out during John's retirement thing. He gonna come out in the middle of the ring and hug John. It's like, nigga, this
Smiling
ain't
like
your
that.
time, right? It's not your
Smiling. So just smiling and stuff.
like they should have had it. Everyone lines up down the ramp like they do every other retirement. John
Yep.
Cena walks between his fellow people in the crowd. He drops his stuff off. He leaves. Triple H can be at the top clapping.
Right.
That's what they do. You ain't got to come into the middle of the ring, all in the camera shot to get your time too.
Exactly.
It's
Like
just, it's
John
crazy.
don't get no speech or anything. No
Didn't
final
get
speech.
didn't get a
No,
speech. Didn't have
no,
a mic.
didn't even give him. Oh, we're going to duck him to the Hall of Fame early.
Yeah, Like you didn't get like, oh, for his retirement, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, or he gets a speech to talk to the crowd, or
Yeah,
they give him some kind of cool moment or anything.
yeah,
It was just he sat in the ring, took his stuff off, looked around, walked barefooted through
yeah.
the fucking locker room with damn socks on, and he just leaves.
But
And
what is his
even like
like?
the
What is
backstage stuff, he's just walking, and I'm like, he don't get nothing.
exactly?
Special. You would
And the
think he get
night,
some pyrotechnics or something.
yeah, you would think,
He ain't no
yeah,
pyro. He ain't get nothing. No confetti or
yeah, no,
he don't
nothing.
get nothing. This is
And on
John
the, on
Cena.
on that night, everyone was talking about Triple H, not even John. Like,
That's what I'm saying. And I think John Noose was coming because when he did that Joe Rogan thing, and he was like a week later, they're not going to be talking about John Cena. I think he knew that this was coming. I think he knew that the way that it's been going, that my retirement is already pretty much destroyed. John even said he wanted to do a full calendar year,
yep,
and they wouldn't let him even do that. They only gave him a couple of dates. He wanted to do a full run, one more full run in the WWE. He's going to wrestle every week, be on every show, and they wouldn't even allow him to do that.
yeah,
Which I'm like, this is John Cena, and I'm also a little peeved at John for not sticking up for himself, because
yeah.
one thing you
Me
can say
too.
about John, as much as he likes to claim that he's not a politician, he's never politic, that's not true. We know from not only yourself but other people around you that you've politicked before, nigga. You've pushed yourself in spots you wasn't supposed to be. You've pushed other people out the way. You couldn't do it one more time for the end of your career, just
Yeah,
once.
yeah. If it was me, I'd have had him Super Cena John one more time, just beating
No,
everybody.
100%. If I was John Cena, as soon as they'd have been like, hey, man, Gunther's going to win, I'd be like, look, this was going to happen. Either I go out there, hit this nigga with 10 AAs and win the match, or I ain't walking out. Ain't going to be no retirement match. I'll leave
Yeah,
right now, nigga. I'll get a flight and I'll go.
yeah,
I'll go to
I
Peacemaker.
would have. Yeah, I'd have booked him Super Cena '07 through like 2013 when he was
That's what
just
I'm
beating
saying.
everybody. I'd
I
have booked
wanted
him
to
like
see
that one more
John come
time.
out with the big steroided muscles and the veins
Yep,
popping out and looking all
yep,
mad in the face and doing all this
yep.
stuff. I
I'd have done
wanted to see
all of
heel
that.
Cena. I didn't want to
Yeah,
see heel Cena that was terrible and then randomly turning face for no reason. Winning an Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I get the Grand Slam, but no one wants to see John with an IC title near the end of his career just to lose it again. And then
yeah,
no one wants to see John Cena tap out, Mr. Never
yeah.
Give Up,
And
giving
the
up in
thing
his last
is,
match.
the way he tapped out too, it's like
Yeah, then
you in a weak looking sleeper hold, and you just do the slow tap out.
it didn't even look like there was no strength in the sleeper hold. John looked
Exactly.
like I
Like
was like, bruh,
all
this
he's
is
been through.
cartoonish. This is cartoonish.
Big Show throwing him through a whole light fixture. Umaga beating the hell out of him every match, taking him to his limit. Like
Almost to
Randy,
death.
yeah, Randy literally tried to blow him up with those lights.
Literally,
Like,
he was pressing buttons trying to blow down the
yeah,
smithereens, and he
yeah.
loses to this.
All those I quit matches with JBL and Batista and everything Randy put him through, and you quit to
Yeah,
that?
they got John bleeding so much he can't even stand up straight, and he
Exactly.
loses to Gunther with a weak tap out. What a way to give it up!
Exactly. And like Seth said, oh well, we'll make more money if Gunther wins. Like there's more money. Like how? What money are you getting? You ain't getting new viewers, you ain't getting better ratings, nothing.
Exactly. And
Where's the money coming from?
the proof that there was no money being made, just look at how bad the ratings got.
Yeah, less than 1 million.
All right, now let's move into this next segment here. So next on the agenda is Avengers Doomsday. As we know, Avengers Doomsday, the next big Marvel project coming up.
Well, technically second.
I said next big Marvel project. Big.
Brand New Day ain't gonna be big?
Huh?
Brand New Day ain't gonna be big?
Big as Doomsday?
No, not big as Doomsday. It's gonna be big.
I don't know. I'm not overly excited for Brand New Day yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm excited to see Frank. I'm excited to see where the story might go. I'm
Yep.
excited that they got kind of the Hulk thing going in it. But like I said, I just don't
Claire,
know.
Claire coming back from the Netflix shows. It's really
I don't,
cool. Claire coming back from Netflix shows.
I
That's
don't
really
care about
cool.
that. I gotta be honest. I don't care about that.
Oh, you ain't a big Marvel Netflix fan of the Netflix
I'm,
shows?
I like Netflix shows. Yeah, I like Punisher. I like Daredevil. I mean, with Iron Fist. With Luke Cage. Jessica Jones.
Really? Wow.
Defenders.
The film was just
Ass,
okay. It was just
ass.
okay. It was just okay.
I'm not. So I'm a fan of two of like the what 5 or 6 Netflix shows. I'm a fan of two.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's
Um, but the reason I'm not really that excited yet is because I'm kind of managing expectations because the last 3 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies were not my favorite.
me either. Yeah, me either.
And the last outing you had wasn't really good.
Yep.
And the
I
problem
agree.
is, I still don't trust Sony to let Marvel do what they need to do to make it great.
But you got Daniel Destin Cretton now directing.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. I'm glad to see some changes, but at the same time, I don't trust Sony to take their hands off the wheel enough and just shut up and let it be as great as it can be.
I don't know if you saw a leaked trailer, but man,
Okay,
hey.
it's too blurry. I don't want to see
No,
leak trailers.
I'm talking about the one that was a little less blurry. Now I couldn't see everything, but from what I saw, I mean, some of them shots was really nice.
Well, look, me, I'm a fan of high quality. I need to see the trailer in
Me too,
4K
yeah. Me
on my
too. Me
big
too.
ass TV.
Yeah, me
Sitting in
too.
my living room, feet up, eating my popcorn, excited. I
Me too.
can't watch it on my phone screen on Twitter in potato quality. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's just me. But I just don't know if I trust Sony enough to take their hands off the wheel. Because we know Sony, they love to steer the ship. I don't know if I trust them enough to just let Marvel do their thing. Because I'm not one of them people that think that Marvel is just this terrible, disgusting, done, run of the mill company. I mean, I trust everything Marvel does, and I know that there will be time. I trust. Well, I'm not saying I like all their products. I say I trust all their decisions. When has Marvel ever made a decision storyline wise that was bad? What?
Quantumania, I mean,
but for what they had going, that might have been a good idea. We never know because it's not going to happen anymore.
I mean, it's not a good idea to have the guy that says he's beating Avengers throughout the multiverse.
I get how that seems right now.
Getting
but
beat by
if that would have continued, who knows? When Kang Dynasty came out, that might have made Ant-Man look that much better.
By the way, did you hear some of those plans for Kang Dynasty?
No, actually, I actually did look at the plans. I saw they were out. But then again, plans could change. Who knows? That could have easily been like an early draft because there's no way they got that far into it before Jonathan Majors was running away from that white girl.
Yeah, but some of them plans, they wasn't it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I get that. I do. I get that some of the plans probably wasn't the greatest, but when is Marvel never, even when they have some bad plans, it always ends up coming out to be something better.
Yeah. Like I still trust them. Not probably not like completely yet, but like I still trust them.
Not completely.
Well, just
what have they done since like phase 4 to prove that they know what they're doing? I mean, they came out with their Deadpool Wolverine. That was good.
But look at like Eternals.
Fantastic Four.
Look at Eternals. Like that could have been a show.
But
that should have been a show.
Phase 4, man. I mean, phase 4 was just a bad time. Not even just in Marvel in history, man. Those were some bad years for everybody.
Yeah, you got a point there.
You
got a point there. Yeah.
The fact that they even stayed afloat during that era was amazing.
Yeah.
I promise you, no shade, but James Gunn's shitty ass DC wouldn't have did that. They'd been dead in the water. And that's gonna be a whole nother video talking about how much I hate James Gunn's DC because Lord.
Yeah, that whole thing is just the yeah. But even the money, some of like the making on Marvel, some of the I know people say some movies are flops, but like that's big money for a lot of movies. Probably not for like not to their not to by their standards, but that's a lot of money by normal movie standards. They would love to have make that type of money in the box office still.
Yeah. And even though we went over on the first segment and we're moving that Hollywood box office segment to another episode, I believe, that's kind of a big point of why the box office needs to change in the first place, because they're spending so much money that you have to make so much astronomical money
Yeah, budgets are too
to
big.
be considered a success.
Yep, budgets are too big.
Way too big. Because what was the budget for the Marvels?
Uh, you can look it up. I forgot specifically, but still, 200. What the whole box office total was 200 something million. That's not good.
I'm struggling typing on this keyboard. Including marketing, it was approximately 374 to 455 million dollars.
It's a lot of money.
So they had to make almost 5 to 600 million to break even. That is a lot of change. That's a lot of change to make.
Did you see that Deadpool and Wolverine? They said that budget was like 500 million, something like that.
Which that is a lot of
why?
money.
Where's it going?
I don't know. I feel like the budgets don't need to be that high. But back on the topic of the Avengers Doomsday. So Avengers Doomsday, I think, is going to be a masterpiece of a movie, just based off what we've seen. What you mean?
I know. I'm just saying that's like not like a masterpiece. I think it would be great, but I don't know if it's like masterpiece.
I think it's going to be better than Infinity War, which is my favorite MCU movie. Period. Yes,
better than the first Avengers, because you know how much I love the first Avengers.
I'm not a big fan of the first Avengers.
I'm
not saying I think it sucks. I think it's one of the better, like maybe top 5 MCU movies. But comparatively, if Avengers is number 5 and Iron Man 1 is number 2, Endgame is, Infinity War is a little bit higher up here. Doomsday won't be all the way up there.
Look, I love Infinity War too. I love Infinity War. I love the first Avengers. I don't know if it's gonna be like masterpiece level yet. That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be great, but not masterpiece level yet.
I don't know, because based off these teasers, here's a couple things I've noticed that makes me believe that this will be a cinematic masterpiece. One, let's start with the color grading cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
The color grading and cinematography looks amazing. It looks better than Endgame ever looked, because Endgame looked pretty rough. It looks better than Infinity War.
And Infinity War is probably
Winter Soldier. It looks better than the first Iron Man.
It's because Infinity War is probably next to like Multiverse of Madness the best like directed.
It looks better than Multiverse of Madness, and despite the script of the movie, Multiverse of Madness is probably the best looking Marvel movie directorially they've made. Because it's Sam Raimi. You can't really go wrong with Sam, you know. And it just looks good. It looks like a comic book. I think next to that is Infinity War, because the color grade and everything looks so good. Mm-hmm. I think that the Fantastic Four movie, because that one looked like a comic book. I really love the style.
Visually,
I got the merch on right now.
Yeah.
Come on.
Visually,
it's so good. But the way that this one looks, though, they're thinking like a traditional Hollywood, like cinematic masterpiece color grading to this, directorial flair to this.
Yeah.
Some of these shots look like it could be in something from like an A24 film. It looks like it could be something from a Scorsese film. Like
it kind of reminds me of like the beginning scene of Endgame with Hawkeye and his family. Like it looks like that, where it's like slow, personal, purposeful cinematography.
Yeah,
and then the beginning of Endgame.
These little teaser snippets, it's doing I think it's doing so well when it comes to how to market this movie. Now, the first one with Captain America, let's start with that one. That one, not so much.
Steve, he's not Cap, he's Steve.
Nigga, he's Captain America to me, damn it.
I'm just saying, a lot of people
you can have two Caps, man.
A lot of people just going to correct you. They'll be like, Sam is Cap and Steve is Steve now. So I'm just let you know.
There's two Caps, man. He's still Cap to me, bro. He's been Cap. He's been Captain America since the first Avenger, man.
Yeah.
From Captain America First Avenger all the way to now, he's still my Captain America, damn it.
Yeah.
Sam I'm not going to discredit Sam as Cap.
Yeah, Sam is Cap too, yeah.
Cap, but Cap, Cap can be more than one person. There's not one Captain America.
Yeah.
So I'll say Steve. Well, the new one with Steve, I think as far as pushing the movie, not as great as the second one we're going to talk about here in a second. I think it did good for telling people, hey, Steve is back. I think showing that he had the kid and stuff gives you a little mystery to where the kid come from, what's going on. Is this even our universe? Is this really our Cap? It sets up a lot of questions. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. And the second one with Thor, which I think this was the best possible way to set up this movie, because having Thor, the person who in Avengers Infinity War, when he showed up on that battlefield, it was undeniable he's the most powerful person in the MCU. Yep. And it's undeniable that if he'd have just went for the head and not trying to bend, not trying to kind of taunt it, he'd have killed Thanos in that first battle. To have him on his knees begging
to the Allfather,
to the Allfathers, begging for the strength of Odin, for stillness,
just to defeat this one person.
He said, let me defeat one more enemy. This man, Thor, who is that powerful, needs to beg for strength.
Oh, did you realize while he was walking in the woods, he was crying? He wiped his face.
Yeah, because I have a theory about this I'm about to get to in a second, but just for him to have that much fear shows that, and I believe that probably happened right after Dr. Doom probably just kicked his ass.
Yeah.
I think that is just setting up Dr. Doom to be like, he's that good and that powerful, that's scary. And I think that's what we needed, especially after the straight ass that was Love and Thunder.
Yeah, we definitely need that power cleanser from that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that, and I kept seeing this on Twitter, and it was so confusing to me because people kept saying, oh, wait, Love and Thunder is canon. Was they gonna uncanonize it?
Yeah, they didn't uncanonize Thor: The Dark World in Endgame, so no, they're not gonna
uncanonize a whole movie.
Yeah, that's the one thing. They don't uncanonize stuff. Marvel don't uncanonize.
They even said that they was gonna, like, even Internals, they kept that canon. People talk about the whole arm in the sea, and they even said it's gonna bring them back eventually.
Yeah, they don't uncanon,
Yeah, they were like, oh, that's actually canon. Why wouldn't it be?
Always, yeah.
It might have been asked, but it's canon.
Yeah, even Secret Invasion, because in Daredevil, one of the dudes was like, so is he a Skrull? He mentioned a Skrull or something like that. And Born Again. So obviously they don't uncanonize stuff.
Yeah,
no matter how bad it is.
Yeah, I don't know where that started. I don't know if it's just some kind of joke. It most likely is, but that was just weird. People was like, "Oh wait, this is canon," but I'm glad that you can see a big shift.
Yeah,
this Thor seems like old Thor. This Thor seems like he has some purpose, and his kind of purpose of like, I got a kid that I'm raising as my own, and I want this kid to grow up without the need for war and fighting like I did.
Yeah, that dialogue.
He gets to pray about it.
Yeah, that dialogue was amazing. By the way, the dialogue was amazing in that scene. By the way,
yeah, no, that was amazing. Now I don't know how much of these clips are promotional, how much of them are real movie. My theory, I think almost all the clips from the Captain America one are promotional. I don't think those are going to be in the film just because of how they were shot. There was no
how they were shot and kind of seemed like
We all seen the memes that it looks like one of them Ozempic commercials or
It's
something.
hard. It does. It
It looks
does.
like
Like
a
you can't even
medical
see it.
commercial.
Yeah.
But I think it's just how it was shot. That's just promotional, just so people
Yeah.
know, hey, Steve will be in the movie. So
Yeah.
you bring some more eyes, letting people know he's coming back. The
It
Thor
worked
one,
too.
yeah, the Thor one. Most of them shots, I feel like we're probably going to be in the movie.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of that's gonna be real
I
in the
think the
movie.
dialogue is probably going to be in the movie because I hate the Cap one didn't have dialogue. I was really hoping it would have dialogue.
Yeah.
And spoiler alerts, based off of like the leaked X-Men one that's
Oh man, that
out,
was off the chain.
I don't think that's gonna have any dialogue because I didn't hear any dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm concerned, but the way it looked, the visual,
Yeah. The
like I
visuals
said,
and
I need it in 4K. So when that comes
yeah.
out like next week, I'm gonna be
I
all
mean
there.
that Cyclops that optic blast blew me away. I mean,
Like
just
that's how it's supposed to look. Like that's how
yeah,
it's supposed to be. And the fact that they got this thing on his knees,
yeah. Taking the
basically,
visor off.
I think when he took it off, that was like his last chance of I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to take as many of them before I die because I'm
And
gonna die.
it just looks so grand. So do you see the big sentinel walking behind them? Like
Yeah,
it's just
like it just gave you that feel of like, yo,
yeah.
this is about to be crazy.
And the chest piece, the Magneto and the chest piece going up,
And
man.
then him and Charles holding hands, like they're
Yeah,
basically like, fuck all our differences, man. I'm scared.
yeah. I'm saying like
I'm scared. Like
yeah,
I think that like
'cause-
stuff like that just tells me this movie's gonna be different.
yeah. That's what I'm
I think
saying.
I honestly think this will be different than any Marvel movie we've seen prior.
I
I
think
don't
Tom
think any
Hiddleston
Marvel movie will.
Tom Hiddleston said that recently. He said something about the movie is just like it's massive, and he said the story was so brilliant and like nothing that Marvel's ever did before.
Yeah, and I mean, I have questions. Like, I want to know how the Tony Doctor Doom connection is gonna work.
Yeah,
I mean, there's theories. None, everyone said the theory. Like, none of the theories are really correct. They said they know it's gonna be amazing but simple, and I'm like, I just want to
yeah,
know because I have faith that I think because I don't think that not only would it look this good, I don't think RDJ that came back. I don't think the Russos that
yeah.
came back. If the reason why wasn't
And
good enough.
I was scared at first because the Russo said Endgame and Infinity War was just so massive. It took a lot out of them, which makes sense because those are two very massive movies. So I'm like, if you come back, are you going to be the same Russos? Are you going to put your all into it?
Like I've always said, the Russos are only great with Marvel. The Russos and Marvel just go hand to hand.
Hey, I mean, to me, that's all that matters to me. I mean,
the Russos and Marvel, they go hand to hand. The Russos just work so well with Marvel. And I truly believe when RDJ said this and when the Russos alluded to it, I don't think that they would have came back if what they read or what the ideas they had was not that good. They wouldn't have came back because RDJ said
yeah,
the only reason he accepted it was because when they told him the idea they had, he thought it was so good he could not pass up on it.
yeah,
So it has to be like this story has to be so great.
yeah.
And it was like, yeah, we got to do it. And I think that even like the old X-Men, like the people from the 2000s X-Men and Chris Evans, I think for them to want to come back, it really like when they read it, it like, yo, this is something.
The Russo said that during McFeely was like one morning he just woke up and he told the Russos about a story, and the Russos were like, "Yeah, this is a story right here."
Yeah, so it's like, man, I'm excited because now I'm ready to see what Doctor Doom is really gonna look like. Like I want to hear the voice. I want to see the outfit. I want to see the mask because that's gonna also be a big kicker. Because if everything else is great but Doctor Doom isn't, it's gonna be ruined. It's not gonna work. Doctor Doom has to arguably be the best part.
Well, that's like
better than everything.
Infinity War. That was the war with Thanos because like you got to get Thanos right or it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, because if Thanos wasn't as good as a villain as he was, if Josh Brolin didn't play the role the way he played it, it
It
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
work.
worked.
Yeah,
Even if the way Thanos looked from a visual effect standpoint, if he didn't look as good as he looked, it wouldn't have worked. Everything had to come together. The acting had to come together. The story had to come together. The VFX had to come together to make that work. And if it didn't, it wouldn't have been no good.
yep.
And I'm kind of glad about that. I'm glad that Marvel is really taking this initiative to make this one great, because that's all I've heard. I've heard a lot from behind the scenes stuff. I'm not gonna say no names because I don't want to put nobody on blast. I know some people that have been in the have been around some people that have worked around this movie, and they've had nothing but good things to say. Of course, ain't like nobody's actually spoiling the movie for nobody, but they're said, Marvel is doing a thing with this one.
But but it
But
has it has to be great, amazing, phenomenal. It can't just be good now.
I agree with the way that the criticism is towards Marvel.
Yeah, it
Their
cannot just be
last,
good.
their
Yeah,
whole phase 4 and kind of the beginning of phase 5. If Marvel doesn't knock this one completely out the park, straight home
yeah,
run,
yeah,
they can't just hit the ball and get the first or second base. It
yeah.
needs to be a straight home run, or this
Because
one's not
I
going to
say
work.
because I say it can't be just like a 7 out of 10. No, this got to be a phenomenal, great. This, I mean,
Yeah, I think that the rating that you would give a really good movie, it has to be above that.
yeah,
Like, this has to literally blow people away. If it does not, it's not going to work.
yeah.
And because I think it was the same thing I had with Fantastic Four. I was like, if the movie, for this movie to be seen as something that people are going to love, it has to blow people out the water or it's not going to work.
I mean, not that it didn't work, but it just didn't blow people away. Like I think
That's
it's just an okay movie, but it's
that's
not
the
like
problem. I think
yeah,
that that's why the Fantastic Four isn't talked about as much. That's why people still talk
not
bad
watching on
about it.
Disney Plus, not watching on Disney Plus.
It's because it was good, but it wasn't great. And it
And
needs
it should have been great. They should have made a point like this is our Fantastic Four. Like they're gonna be big players in the future. We got to make this great, and it wasn't that. So it was
yeah,
kind of disappointing.
it has to be great.
Yeah,
And I truly believe that with Doomsday, I think Marvel's going to do that. I think that this is their opportunity. This is their chance. They're gonna do that. They're gonna find a way to make this movie great.
well,
And
I think they know that too.
yeah, I know that the pressure is definitely on. I
Yeah,
know they're probably stressing out a little bit because they know the pressure's cooking.
yeah,
I think they're gonna find a way to make this truly a remarkable movie.
yeah.
Now, my theory that I have with the teasers, at least with the first two, I don't know. I think it's probably gonna be the same with the third one. I'll have to see it when it comes out in 4K to really confirm my theory. I think that because they have the Doomsday Clock play at the end of every single teaser. They
Mm-hmm.
have the Doomsday Clock and everything. My theory is that what they're gonna do is that every time they show, now this is considering that a lot of this isn't promotional footage and a lot of this is going to be in movie footage. I think that the end of these teasers are cutting off right before Doom's arrival,
That's a good theory.
like, or it's showing the aftermath of Doom's arrival. Like
Or they could be
like
lying to us altogether.
they could be, but I think that because like with the first one with Cap holding the kid, I think Doom shows up at the house.
Uh-huh.
I think that with Thor out there in the woods, I think either A, Doom had already showed up and did something to his daughter, or Doom shows up in the woods. Because I
Oh,
think that
that's
this could be after he had already fought or even met Doom the first time, and he shows up while the niggas praying on some Green Goblin shit.
I think that's after he fights Doom. It doesn't seem like that's something it would be
But
wild.
to me, it wouldn't be out of pocket to think Doom wouldn't show back up just to finish him off.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be even crazier Doom shows up, kicks Thor's ass, takes his daughter, kills his daughter, does whatever he has to do. And then right after that, he's praying in the woods, asking they need to beat this enemy. I need stillness. Doom shows up again and kicks his ass some more. And then maybe even gives him an ultimatum, which is what I think he's going to do with Cap, of like, either you join me or your family is donezo.
Yeah, because I heard fatherhood is going to be a big theme in the movie.
Because I think that, it's going to be like, hey, you can either join my team, and when I rebuild the world, your family can stay alive, or I kill you and your family, and that's it.
And that's it, yeah. The
choice is yours.
I'm too powerful for you to stop, so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be shown. He's too powerful. And if some of the, months ago, some of the early, like, previs, promotional art, concept art, if it's true and it's like Reed is a prisoner, but the kid and Sue is not, I think it's going to be the same thing with the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four. He's going to give her an ultimatum. It's either A, you come with me with Franklin and you're okay, or I kill him where he stands. I kill you where you stand. And
or you're doomed. Or you're doomed.
Or you're doomed. And then I think it's going to be kind of like a breaking up of the family, because I think that based on the thing, I think that Johnny and Sue are going to go with Doom, knowing that they can't beat him. And I think that Reed is not, and Ben is not. If anything, low key, I think this would be awesome, even though people would probably hate it. I think he should probably kill Ben, turn him into a pile of rocks.
No.
No, I think that would set a big precedent, man.
Yeah, but you can't kill off Ben.
I think you can.
I think take away that Fantastic Four, make it a Fantastic 3. You can't do that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because like we've already confirmed once, this is not technically our universe's Fantastic Four.
But they're setting them up to be after the reboot.
Technically, it's still not.
Yeah.
Now, that's not saying that if they find a way to win in Secret Wars, they can't bring some people back. But I think if they were to kill Ben in Doomsday and he turns Ben to just a pile of rubble,
that would be crazy.
I'd be like, yo, this nigga Doom is unbeatable, bro.
But the X-Men trailer, what I liked is that it makes me more confident about what they're going to do with the X-Men, if like that's what they're going to do with them in the reboot. Because other Fantastic Four, like I said, like I like the team, the actors, but the movie wasn't really, all that. But the X-Men, like, you got to get that right too. I mean, and based on the X-Men teaser, it's like, if y'all gonna give us this, and it's like, okay, like this is it.
Yeah, like, and when they do their own, I think it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be hella comic accurate, because I already know that's what they're gonna do.
Still not a huge fan of the director choice, but everything else. Yeah,
and like I'm glad that I don't know anything about this movie really, because it's been a Doomsday.
Oh,
because it's been a long time since I've walked into a theater and really known nothing about the Marvel movie I'm about to watch.
Yeah,
because most of the time I already heard some stuff or seen some stuff, or the way that scooping culture is now, especially on Twitter, it's almost impossible to escape. If you own a Twitter account and you follow anything Marvel, you end up seeing some shit you don't want to see. And you can't just act like you didn't see it. So
now that's kind of part of the marketing now, like a little bit.
I think so, but there's points where it's overdone. Like No Way Home. Like No Way Home, it was completely overdone. We got whole scenes of the movie before the movie was
Andrew in 4K.
Out. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Andrew Garfield talking in 4K with a blue screen before before we even really got trailers. Before we even got the final trailer.
Yeah. And people thought it was fake back then.
Yeah, I mean, we had the picture of Toby, Tom, and Andrew standing side by side.
Yeah.
And it was an exact shot of the movie. It was
exactly.
You had the pictures of all the villains together. Doc Ock still had the blue screen for the tentacles, and I'm like, Where did y'all get this footage?
Yeah,
Where?
I don't know. I don't know, but
Like, I
yeah,
don't
but
want that for Doomsday. I don't want clips of the movie and stills of the movie to come out months before the movie drops. I don't want that. I don't. I would be very happy if the first time in a long time I go to a Marvel movie and don't know what's about to happen is Doomsday. So everything that happens can be like, holy shit.
I was like Deadpool Wolverine though. Like we didn't really know too much.
Yeah, we didn't know too much about Deadpool and Wolverine, but Deadpool and Wolverine also didn't do too much as far as
Yeah, in the
crazy.
grand scheme of things, yeah,
Like it was more like, even though you had the Void and it was technically multiversal, but it was really just a more grounded Wolverine and Deadpool movie. But I mean, really, the big deal was Wolverine being back with Deadpool.
yeah.
That was obviously the big part of the
But
market.
obviously, Gambit and Elektra and Blade returning, like who expected that?
Yeah, but like once again, like that was kind of out there already. People
Yeah, but like,
speculate, but then again, it's like it was a cool oh shit moment, but like it wasn't like Doomsday. We don't even know plot points. We don't even know what Doom looks like under the mask yet. We don't know what RDJ is going to sound like.
yeah,
We don't. We don't know if anyone dies. We don't know who lives. We don't know any of the story, which is the best part.
I don't like
I'm
Infinity
trying to
War in Endgame,
huh?
just like Infinity War in Endgame.
Exactly. That's how it should be. Now, I'm sure there probably was leaks going around, but they wasn't big enough at the time that I heard any of it. Like, if I'd have heard that Iron Man was going to die prior to watching Endgame, it wouldn't have been as great.
I did hear
I,
about that
I didn't even hear about it prior.
because it was literally everywhere on the internet, literally everywhere. Like you couldn't, if you got internet, you couldn't avoid it.
Oh, luckily at that point in time, I wasn't big on the Marvel Twitter space or anything.
Yeah,
And that's actually something I do now. As big of a Marvel fan as I am, I've cut so far back on watching anything Marvel related that I kind of stay out the loop
yeah,
nowadays.
you kind of the opposite of me.
Yeah, like I purposely stay out the loop. Like I'll see it when a trailer comes out or something. But if you look at my YouTube feed, if you look at my Twitter feed, you ain't gonna find no Marvel in there.
Yeah,
No. And I'm a huge Marvel fan, but like I can't even watch trailer breakdown videos because it's gonna fill my algorithm with too much Marvel stuff that I'm gonna see things I don't want to.
yeah, because you know me, like I like to look at everything Marvel. I keep up with everything. So
Yeah, and I have, friends that or people I consider friends that are in the scooping community. I'm not gonna say any
yeah,
names that are in the scooping community, pretty decent sized people. I know people that I could call acquaintances that I've spoke to that have worked on certain projects. Not it doesn't necessarily have to be Marvel related per se, but know people that do that, and they've conversated certain things. Like that industry of the scooping thing has got so massively huge, it is ridiculous.
and
I never thought that.
it's only gonna get more confusing with AI getting so good, and
Honestly, I'm so glad about AI for that one reason. I'm glad that 99% of the scoops are just AI slop, so that way it's not actually spoiling
yeah,
anybody.
yeah,
And even if it was real, I might just believe it's AI and totally dismiss it. So that's like
Doctor
the
Doom,
only,
Doctor Doom back there.
huh?
Is Doctor Doom back there?
I think so. It sounds like, but that's yeah. So on that note, I hope that I can stay out the loop long enough for this movie to really blow me away. I have faith that this is going to be one of those movies that Marvel is going to make that's going to blow everything out the water.
Yeah,
I got
definitely box
just,
office wise it is.
huh?
Definitely box office wise it is.
Oh yeah.
Because the hype is already huge.
Oh yeah, it's massive. Well, that's what we got today for the Flip the Script podcast. Damn, I already forgot the damn name.
Uh-huh.
Uh Episode 1. Um Next week's episode, we're gonna talk about the box office a little bit. We're gonna see what kind of happens in the news over the next week. Try to keep y'all informed. A couple of things we're probably gonna try to bring to the podcast. If new movies come out, we'll do some movie reviews. Anything good come out, video games, documentary, news, whatever. We'll try to watch it and then take some notes and try to get back with y'all. But yeah, this is the first episode of the Flip the Script podcast, and y'all be good, man. You got any final words?
Peace.
All right.